Hi, my name is Cindy Cisneros. I am a certified creativity coach, and this is the Business Basics longer tutorial on keywords and hashtags. Now, if you saw the shorter video, that was kind of the introduction to the content that's going to be in this longer tutorial. So if you hopped over from the shorter video, I'm happy to see you here. This is the longer tutorial about keywords and hashtags. And what we're going to go over in this tutorial is what keywords and hashtags are for, how to use them, best practices, how to find the ones that are best for you, how to track them and optimize them. And this is meant as really an introduction to get you started using these to optimize your marketing for your creative business. So if you're using these, and if you're finding these on one of my social media channels or on one of my YouTube channels, there is a written lesson that also goes with this video lesson. And I really believe that we do our best learning when we're using multiple channels, listening, looking, reading. So I encourage you, if you're not already, to subscribe to my Business Basics course, and there's a link attached to this video, but there's also a link attached to my channel, and it's free because I believe there shouldn't be barriers between artists and entrepreneurs and the information that you need to get your creative work out into the world. So I'm providing you business basics for artists to help you understand how to plan, market, and sell your creative work for free. So if you're not already subscribed to those business basics courses that has things like written lessons, also these video lessons, all linked together so that you can seamlessly watch, look, listen to the content to absorb it together, as well as templates and downloadables and a whole bunch of other information all together to help you really get acquainted with the basics that you need to become a savvy business person to get your art out into the world, then I recommend go ahead and do that. And there's also a free community of art entrepreneurs like you where you can share, ask your questions, and get support. Further ado, let's talk about keywords and hashtags. So I want to start with keywords. Now, when I started with my business, keywords to me was like, okay, this is just one more thing that I have to do with marketing. I'm going to just kind of give it a try. And that's not a bad place to start if you're in a place of overwhelm and you're trying to absorb everything and you just want to do some keywords. If you're at a place where you're really trying to add keywords as a strategy to your marketing plan, let's try to do it in a thoughtful way. And when you're listening to this tutorial, you may listen to it once, do your best, listen to it again, try to do it better. And that's all part of our learning curve, right? So let's talk about keywords. Again, when you did your business plan, we talked about your audience and your niche. And with marketing, we were thinking back to our business plan. And I said to you, when you're doing your business plan, we're going to keep coming back to it. And that's kind of how these business fundamentals work. And that's why they work, is because they're all structured and built upon each other. That's really the magic, but not magic of them. I'm going to go back to that audience and niche. Who is your artwork? Who is your creative work meant for? So think about with your business plan, and again, you reference this in your marketing plan, who is your work meant for? And with your keywords, you're going to be thinking about this too. Think about who your target audience is and what they might be searching for. So when it comes to keywords, you're going to be thinking about broad topics that they might be popping in a search engine, for example. So if an artist might be looking for your artwork, or who might be buying your artwork, for example. So let's stick with maybe an artist is buying your artwork. What might they be popping in a search engine? Maybe an artist is popping in a search engine queries like art techniques, painting supplies, how to sell art online. But the first thing you want to do when you're thinking about keywords is think about that audience and niche and brainstorm some of the things that they might be searching for. Now, once you kind of have some ideas there, I think there's some really useful research tools out in the world that you can take this information, toss it in there, and they will help you come up with keywords based upon those queries. Now, before you go dumping a ton of money into these research tools, there are absolutely amazing paid solutions, but there are also great free solutions. And we as artists and creatives are very invested in our dollars, in our return on investment. Everything that we put out into the world, we need to be getting a return on that, right? So I would recommend looking at the free options first, like Google Keyword Planner. And if you pop into a search engine, Google Keyword Planner, you'll get that back, mess around with it, take a look at it, but you can pop some of those queries that you came up with that your key audience might be looking for and put that into your Google Keyword Planner. It's going to start giving you keywords that you might want to be using. On the lesson that goes along with this video, there's some other free tools, there's some other paid tools that you might investigate and see what is a good match for you. But the idea of these tools is it's going to help you translate some of these queries that your audience might be using when they're searching for things online and give you keywords to use. And this is the beginning of the keywords that you're going to be using in your marketing. So some other things that you're going to be paying attention to with these keywords is search volume and competition. And Google Keyword Planner is going to give you some of this information. A lot of these other keyword planners are going to be giving you this information and helping you understand what this means. But keywords will have associated with them how competitive the keywords are, how highly searched these keywords are. And generally the advice when it comes to keywords, especially in the beginning, is you don't want to have all your keywords have the same amount of search volume and competition. And as you get started, that's really all you need to know about that, is to mix your search volume and competition associated with your keywords, mix it up. And we're going to leave that topic there for now. The next thing is there are also something called long tail keywords, and this is something you might want to consider as well. And really the only thing you need to know about long tail keywords is this is a phrase that somebody might search as opposed to a specific search term. So if you might have a keyword, for example, like painting supplies, a long tail keyword might be how to paint landscapes with acrylics. Whereas let's say the keyword for that might be painting, for example. So you might want to have some phrases as well as words that your audience and niche might be using, that you're keeping track of, that you might use as your long tail keywords, phrases, and keywords, terms, 1 or 2 words. And so the next thing you want to do, and I'm skipping analyze competitors, which if you're following along with the lesson, you can kind of look through that one yourself. It's a little bit similar to what we've covered already, but I want to move on to organize your keywords. So this is really important. And again, you can do paid versions of this, but in the beginning, let's do this ourselves. Let's make a written list. Let's make a spreadsheet. Let's start to make a list of the keywords we're going to be tracking and using. Come up with your system for how we're going to organize and prioritize. So let's say I'm going to be doing a marketing campaign this week. Which keywords am I going to be using in the marketing campaign? Which ones am I going to be emphasizing? And I need to organize and keep track of that in some kind of system. So design that system for yourself. And then the last thing is, how am I going to track those results? So there are, again, paid versions of this, but there are, again, free versions of this. And Google is a free version of this, where if you're, for example, doing this with your website, you can take a tag from Google, put this on your website, and pay attention to your results. In this way, you may pay somebody or ask somebody who's savvy with the internet to set this up for you if this is something that you struggle with. A lot of websites kind of have all of this stuff integrated for you. This is where you can do a little bit of digging and learning yourself to kind of get it all set up. But what you want to do is pay attention. Google Analytics and Google Search Console are really good in terms of helping you pay attention to your data. You just need to set that up. Don't feel overwhelmed on this setting it up. If it's something that, looking at the the tutorials for Google that you really are having a hard time setting it up, ask somebody who's really good with computers, again, to set it up for you, or just consider doing a one-time hire to have somebody set that up for you. But then you can track and see how your keywords are performing and make adjustments as you move forward in your marketing. And things that you might track, for example, and something that I track, for example, is, of course, how my website is ranking and how my different pages are ranking and how I'm ranking for particular keywords on my website. So I want to talk about the difference between keywords and hashtags. And unless you've been living under a rock, I think we kind of know what a hashtag is, right? A hashtag is something that we use on social media to, like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, to make our content discoverable to a wider audience, right? Whereas a keyword is something that is used on Google or a search engine to discover content. So keywords are crucial for things like search engine optimization. Hashtags are crucial for discovering your social media content, making that discoverable. So in terms of hashtags, you're going to do kind of a similar process to what you did for your keywords, but the systems that you use might be a little different. So you're going to want to do a similar, what is my audience searching for? And then you're going to want to do a similar set of research and discovery and tracking and analytics for your marketing content for hashtags. But the tools that you're using, whereas for keywords, you may be using a lot of Google Analytics and Google Keywords to do all of that. Just as an example, choose the system that works for you. For hashtag research tools, you're going to be using something different. So there's a Instagram search that you can use to explore hashtags, for example. But there's also different tools that you can use. And if you're looking at the written lesson associated with this, there are some examples of different tools you can use to explore hashtags. And then you want to, again, track and analyze how your social media is doing based upon the hashtags that you're using, and then track your performance and adjust. And in terms of hashtags, something that you can do that isn't necessarily something that is the same amount of usefulness in terms of a keyword strategy is you can create your own branded hashtag. So if you have a specific campaign, I've used my own hashtag for a set of social media posts that I've been doing. I've used one for my company name. I've used one to cover when I do a new blog release. I've called it the Creatively blog, for example, as a hashtag, and so on. So that's a technique or a strategy you can. So if anybody wants to see or discover new posts related to any of your blog content or related to a particular campaign, they can discover those across your social media platforms just by searching the hashtag. So this is just an overview on strategies you can use to organize, track, analyze, and optimize keywords and hashtags in your marketing campaigns. It's a lot of information in a compact period of time, but take a look in the creativity courses at the written lesson that goes along with this, and think about it in a strategic way as it's related to your own marketing plan, as it's related to your own business plan. If you've been following along with these business basics and working with these, implementing them as it's related to your own creative business, so that you can try it. And as you implement these things, you'll find, and I found, that things start kind of connecting in your brain of like, okay, I see how this makes sense for me. And it gives you a chance to kind of go back, make some revisions, and absorb content again. So I hope that this was helpful. Please do take advantage of the Business Basics courses, and I hope to see you at the next video. I am constantly releasing and updating and adding more information to help you through this creative journey all the time.